So how is the Motorola Razr 2025 holding up 1 week later? Stay tuned. All right, everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the Motorola Razr 2025 edition right here, and I've been using this well over a week now, and I have some stuff to say about it. Overall, this is probably one of the best decisions you can make if you guys are looking for a flippable or foldable form factor. A lot of people out there right now are getting sick of the old metal and glass slab that they have in their pocket, and they're opting for a flippable phone. And this is definitely a phone that does not disappoint. It offers a lot of stuff in here. The first thing I want to go ahead and talk about is the display on this device. This has a very, very bright display on this, a 3000 nit peak brightness display in here. So for consuming media, consuming YouTube videos, Netflix, even playing video games on here, you are going to have a very, very good viewing experience and playing experience as well, because this does host stereo speakers, and let me tell you, they are very, very nice and bassy. Other than that, they're also super clear, and for the majority of people out there that have used a flagship device, this is essentially some flagship speakers on here. I definitely can't tell the difference between my S25 Plus and this device. This device just really packs a punch when it comes to the viewing experience. I'm playing video games and watching movies and TV shows and all that type of stuff, scrolling social media. So the display on here is great. Also, the secondary display on this device is great as well. As you guys know, we have a 3.6 inch LTPO AMOLED display on here. Beautiful display. And as you guys know, the new Flip 7 FE that just came out, that device has a 60 hertz display. This device is going to give you that full HD resolution on here. It's also going to give you a 90 hertz refresh rate, and it's going to give you more space. So if you want to text, if you want to take photos, you're going to have a lot more room to do that. And I was even playing Call of Duty Mobile on this the other day as well. So definitely something that you may want to go ahead and look into. If you're wanting one of the bigger rear displays on a foldable phone, this is definitely something out there that is super affordable, especially for this form factor. Battery on this device is great as well. We have a 4500 milliamp battery inside of here. It's going to last you all day, so don't even worry about that. We are going to have a nice experience when it comes to that. You're definitely going to be able to get maybe even 2 days out of here if you're a light user. For the majority of people though, you are going to be able to get your full day of use out of this. So whether you're at work or school, you guys are not going to drain this entire battery from 100% until 0, unless you're gaming all day. That's a lot different. Now, as far as the internals on here, I know a lot of people were talking about this. We have 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of here, 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and the MediaTek Dimensity 7400. Now, this is something that many people were worried about for some reason. This processor is capable though. For the majority of people that are just doing their day-to-day work, they may do some light gaming at night, but mostly they're scrolling social media. You know, they're doing a little light gaming, they're watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. You're going to have very, very few glitch ups on here. This processor is very capable. So the MediaTek Dimensity 7400X is very capable when it comes to the Razr 2025. It's definitely something you do not have to worry about. 99% of people out there are going to be absolutely pleased with the performance on this. Again, if you are one of those power users who needs to edit 4K videos or something like that, you guys need to do Photoshop, or you're a web designer or something like that, of course, get a phone out there that's going to be tailored to the power that you need. But the majority of people out there are going to be totally fine getting this device, and you don't even have to get the Razr Plus or the Razr Ultra. Of course, those are nicer phones. You have more niceties inside of those, but if you just need a phone with the basic necessities, this definitely gives you that. Another thing that may worry a few of you is that we only have 3 years of operating system updates on here. Samsung is offering about 7 operating system updates on their newer Flip 7s and the Flip 7 FE, of course, but I think 3 years is fine. I think 3 years is totally fine. I believe we have 4 years of bi-monthly security patches as well. So if you're not looking to hold on to this phone for a long time, then this is definitely a phone to get. Even if you are looking to hold on to this device for like 4 or 5 years, this is going to still do you good. I don't think it's going to make or break your experience with this device. Yes, updates are great to get, but I still think 3 years of operating system updates on a $699 phone is pretty solid. There were, however, a couple things I didn't like too much about this device, and of course, Going over to the camera right here, we have a dual camera setup right here. Our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel wide angle, and our secondary is going to be a 13 megapixel ultra wide. So we do get that ultra wide mode on here. For the photos that we get on here, they are going to be a little bit more punchy, a little bit more colorful, but I kind of like that pop of color, to be quite honest. I don't think that's a make or break for people out there. Unless you want the most natural colors, get a Pixel device. But if you're not caring about that, super Instagrammable, super Facebookable photos, or whatever you guys want to say. If you guys are looking to upload a photo to social media, the photos that you take on here are going to be Instagram ready. So they're going to look really nice. They're going to pop, and the computational photography is very, very solid on here. Now, when it comes to the video recording, that's a little bit different. I think 1080-60 is pretty solid on this device. However, when we get into 1080-30 frames per second, there is this little juddering effect, and that happens when you turn. So if you're turning to the left or turning to the right or going in a circle, you guys are going to have a little bit of blur. I'm not sure if you can notice that. I'm putting the video on the screen right now. There is a little bit of blur. Of course, on the more premium flagship devices, that's not going to be there. But overall, I think the video is fine. That's one of the things I didn't like about this device. But for the camera setup, for a $699 price tag, I think overall you guys are going to have a pretty solid time, especially if you're not filming social media videos or, posting to Instagram for a following. If it's just, taking pictures and videos of your kids or your family, maybe you're going to get together, it's not going to be anything that is going to make or break this phone, to be quite honest. There are too many niceties in here for that price tag to make or break this phone with the camera. I think, of course, you can get a better camera experience on a device that's less than this, like the Pixel 9a or something like that. But overall, I think this is a very, very solid camera when it comes to photos. There's just a couple minor issues that I have when it comes to videos, but you guys are going to be totally fine. It's not going to be noticeable to people out there unless you have that type of videographer's eye and you need to upload high quality social media videos and stuff like that. It's not going to be a big deal. Last but not least, a couple things I don't really like about this device. It's going to be the rear display, how it takes up fingerprints. As you guys can see, this is a fingerprint magnet. That's something I didn't like, but it comes with the territory, guys. It comes with the territory. If you want that big display on the back, it is going to be taking up fingerprints. Just go ahead and wipe it off on your shirt and it's gone. But I think it's just something that's an OCD thing, to be quite honest. I don't think it's going to be everybody being picky about that. And of course, the last thing is there's no SD card support in here. Obviously, that's a bigger thing. We do have a solid onboard storage of 256 gigs. And for that price tag, I think that's solid, especially since it's the base storage. There is no 128, there's only 256. But for the people out there that download tons of apps and then want to save photos and videos to an SD card inside their phone, you can't do that on here. Of course, there's cloud storage you guys can use. We have Google One. There's a bunch of other cloud services out there that you can do this on, but I get why you guys want an SD card slot inside of here. There just isn't one. But yeah, guys, overall, I've had a very solid experience with the Motorola Razr 2025 edition. I think they're definitely going in the right direction, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing that sub $500 foldable phone and premium experience very soon for Motorola, and hopefully Samsung as well, man. I want some other companies going into the game with these cheaper devices. I'm really, really excited to see what's going to be happening in terms of that. But yeah, overall, solid device, beautiful display, great form factor, great storage, great secondary display, and the use cases we can do with it. And of course, the battery life and the speakers on here are solid as well. So essentially, everything that you need to do on this phone is going to be a breeze. And you get all of that in a premium titanium package. And yeah, there's not too much bad I have to say about this device. It's definitely one of the greats out there when it comes to the mid-range flippable or foldable devices.